Right now, a new feature on Apple products aims to better protect those involved in a crash or accident, but it's also causing false alarm calls to dispatchers. How you can avoid making an accidental call.
Also, a Republican state representative kicked out of her own party's caucus is now looking to fill an open Senate seat.
And later, SSM Health urging people to get their flu shots as hospitalizations continue to increase from the Thanksgiving holiday. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Well, good evening, and thanks for joining us. Imagine taking a simple fall down a ski hill, and just as you're ready to make your way back up to the top for another go, fire, EMS, law enforcement, they all rush over to make sure you're okay.
Tahlil Mohideen shares how a new feature on the latest Apple products is causing much ado about nothing.
In her 10 years of experience,
Columbia County 911, where's your emergency?
911 coordinator Elizabeth Schutz has had her share of false alarms.
Thank you. We average about 100 to 150 911 hang-ups a month.
Between pocket dials and kids playing with phones, there's not much they can do about those calls. But when it comes to the latest wave of accidental calls, Columbia County Dispatch is asking for help.
First one came in Cascade Mountain.
A big skiing hill in the area has become a bit of a hotspot for 911 hang-ups, thanks to a crash detection feature on some Apple Watches in the new iPhone 14s.
Our response to it is we have to treat every call as if it's real, that there is some type of immediate danger to their life or their safety.
Schutz says it can be a great tool to have in case of an emergency, but unlike car crash detection apps like OnStar, it's a lot more sensitive.
The other one we had was a gentleman driving a tractor. He jumped off the tractor and it thought he had fallen. In fact, he was just in his field doing some farm work and everything was okay.
To avoid these, the Columbia County Sheriff's Office says maybe turn off that emergency SOS setting when you know you'll be doing a high-impact, low-risk activity.
You can have it always on, only on during workouts, or you can toggle it off, and then it will prevent any accidental 911s.
And for people not keen on turning off that safety feature, they say the best thing you can do once an accidental call is made is stay on the line.
Yeah, you're not going to be in trouble for it going off. We really just want to make sure you're okay.
Officials with Columbia Dispatch say they've received about a dozen calls through the Apple feature in the past month, and so far, none have been in an emergency situation.
Tahlil, thank you. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Well, it's been a cloudy, gloomy day today, and we had some light precipitation this morning, especially north of Dane County. There's a narrow band of some light freezing drizzle and light freezing rain where temperatures this morning were below freezing. Notice Madison at freezing for the overnight low temperature, but temperatures are in the upper 20s north of Dane County, and ice vision ice accumulation shows a narrow band of just a few 1/100ths of an inch of freezing rain that was enough to cause roads to become slick, especially over parts of Sauk and Crawford County. Now you can see on high-resolution radar some snow flurries moving through southern Wisconsin. Not all of this reaching the ground, but expect the possibility for some flurries. 6-hour future track radar doesn't show any of it to be very heavy. High temperatures today made it up into the middle to upper 30s. Janesville hit 41 degrees for a high. Here in Madison, now we've dropped to 34 degrees, still 34 degrees in Boscobel and 32 in Viroqua across Dane County. We're seeing temperatures mainly in the middle 30s, 34 in Perry, 37 degrees in Edgerton, and 34 degrees in Sun Prairie. Look for skies to be mostly cloudy this evening. A slight chance for a flurry. Temperatures dropping into the lower 30s by late evening. Later on, I'll take a look at some rain and snow chances, maybe even some snow accumulations, especially as we head from Thursday night into Friday.
Gary, thank you. A man charged with killing a Columbia County man inside his home more than 3 years ago is sentenced to life in prison. 45-year-old Jason Kayeski will be eligible for extended supervision after 30 years, consecutive to any other sentences he's currently serving. Kayeski pleaded guilty last week to a single charge of first-degree intentional homicide. It's for his role in the death of Keith Wolf. Kayeski was accused of breaking into Wolf's home in 2019 and then shooting him in the head as Wolf walked into his basement to check on a noise that he and his wife heard. Kayeski told authorities that he chose Wolf's home at random and did not intend to kill anyone during a burglary.
Happening this morning, police say a person was found dead in a vehicle after a fiery crash in West Madison. Officers were sent to the intersection of Pleasant View Road and Flagstone Drive around 1 a.m. They arrived to find the vehicle on fire. Investigators determined it hit a light fixture and utility pole. Police have not provided any information about the victim's identity. An investigation is ongoing. A Madison mom is concerned her daughter's legs will never return to normal.
It's all about to lead to a lawsuit against the Madison School District. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles has the story. Naomi?
It comes down to something called an IEP. That's an individualized education program. They're mandated by law for children with special needs. And in this case, Ariana's mother believes an IEP that wasn't followed led to near permanent medical setbacks. Ariana is 19 years old and has cerebral palsy. She grew up loved and supported without an issue in Madison schools. It wasn't until she hit their post-graduation 18 and up program that she started having issues.
She wasn't so happy, something wasn't right, and then maybe months after that, or a month or so after that, she was starting to lash out and cry.
At the core of all is a specialized piece of equipment used as part of her therapy, and it wasn't used correctly. Instructions were all laid out in her IEP, but her mom believes failure to follow those instructions led to her legs having permanent injuries. It's now going to a lawsuit with doctor's notes backing it up. We'll get into it all in the full story tonight at 10 o'clock.
Naomi, thank you. Attorney General Josh Kaul and law enforcement agencies warning Wisconsinites of a recent string of scams targeting seniors all across the state. Now, these scams consist of someone pretending to be law enforcement or an attorney, falsely claiming a family member has been involved in a car accident, was arrested, and then they demand large sums between $10,000 and $20,000 of cash for a bond payment. The scammer, a purported bond agent, then goes to the senior's home and picks up the cash payment. Over $100,000 has already been lost by innocent Wisconsin seniors just in recent weeks. If you or someone you know has been impacted by a similar scam, you are asked to call law enforcement.
The race to replace retiring Milwaukee area Senator Alberta Darling is heating up. Today, State Representative Janelle Brandtjen announced she is running for the open seat. Brandtjen has been a vocal critic of the 2020 election, even running an investigation that competed with Assembly Speaker Robin Vos. She even went on to endorse Vos's primary opponent. Brandtjen is currently running against at least one other Republican, Dan Knodel, in the primary. Both represent 2 of the 3 districts that make up that Senate seat.
Today is the beginning of National Influenza Vaccination Week, reminding everyone there is still time to get your flu shot for anyone 6 months and older. Right now, flu rates are soaring with more than 6 million confirmed cases in the U.S. Here in Wisconsin, only 30% of residents are vaccinated against the flu. According to SSM Health, hospitalizations have doubled since Thanksgiving, with both flu and COVID cases on the rise. They recommend getting vaccinated for both.
It can be given at the same time. We do know that COVID is also surging right now. And again, it's the same strategy of the vaccines will help mitigate the disease. So we strongly encourage them, the use of the booster as well for COVID. And as I said, you can give them together very safely.
He says it's still too early to tell how effective the flu vaccine is this year, but that it is effective, especially for those at risk. Pfizer asking U.S. regulators to authorize its updated COVID-19 vaccine for children under the age of 5. This is part of their initial shots. Children ages 6 months through 4 years are already supposed to get 3 doses of the original Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, each a 1/10 of the amount adults receive as their primary series. If the FDA agrees, a dose of Pfizer's bivalent Omicron targeting vaccine would be substituted for that 3rd shot. The FDA has authorized the new bivalent COVID-19 shots as a booster for everyone ages 5 and older. And the upcoming defense authorization bill likely to end the military COVID vaccine mandate. That's according to a source familiar with the negotiations. Republicans have been lobbying to kill the mandate, saying it has discouraged people from going into military academies and also removed people from service who didn't follow the requirement. The bill will likely be approved by Congress within the next 2 weeks. It remains to be seen what Congress does about service members who were disciplined or discouraged from service as a result of the mandate.
Meanwhile, certain over-the-counter children's painkillers are becoming harder to find. Drug maker Johnson & Johnson says the company is experiencing high demand and is working to maximize their production capacity. If your child has a fever and acting sick or is in pain, there are other forms of pain-killing medication, including crushing an adult ibuprofen and mixing it with a syrup or juice, but your child must meet the weight requirements.
If your child weighs enough that they typically can take 2 teaspoons of the children's ibuprofen liquid or children's acetaminophen liquid, then they weigh enough to have a crushed pill.
If the fever lasts longer than 5 days or an infant less than 2 months of age has a fever, Dr. Amon says to get medical care. After the break, UW-Platteville and Madison College expand their engineering partnership.
Plus, a blast from the past where you can get your hands on thousands of vinyls that captured the sounds of Wisconsin back in the 1960s.
brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
This holiday season at the Century House, give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Whether you're looking for all the advanced features or something with a lower upfront cost, with Rheem heating equipment, you can stay comfortable even in the most uncomfortable situations.
Oh, come on. Yes, let's go.
Feel the Wohlers difference. Call Wohlers Heating and Air Conditioning today, serving Dane County for over 45 years.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. UW-Platteville and Madison College are marking a new step in the partnership between the two institutions. Today, they announced the expansion of their engineering partnership. The updated agreement will designate Madison College as an official UW-Platteville Engineering Partnership site. This adds the UW-Platteville Bachelor of Science degree in Industrial and Systems Engineering to the existing pathways for Madison College students.
The pathway from the Associate in Science to a Bachelor of Science in Industrial and Systems Engineering will foster new relationships and, most importantly, expand access and opportunities for all of our students.
Both parties are calling the expansion a win for the schools, Wisconsin, and the students.
Thousands of historic vinyl albums that captured the sound of Wisconsin in the 1960s are being sold by A Grace. The records are from the personal collection of Jim Kirschstein, an electrical engineer and founder of Kuka Records in Sauk City. The small studio recorded thousands of songs and LP records by Wisconsin or Wisconsin-adjacent musicians until the early 1970s. Now, Kirschstein chose to donate his beloved collection to A Grace, who set up a pop-up shop to sell them. It's drawing a lot of attention.
It's a huge quantity of people, a lot of people coming through the store. Still lots of records left to sell, but similar to the last time we did the vinyl sale, I mean, it creates a lot of traffic. Yesterday we had people from Milwaukee, people from Appleton, so the word is out.
Well, the records are being sold for $2 each at A Grace's thrift shop on South Stoughton Road. The sale runs through Saturday or as long as supplies last. Still ahead, the Department of Homeland Security extends the deadline to get a real ID.
Plus, Madison gets a perfect score on inclusivity for the LGBTQ+ community, but why there's still work to be done.
Some of us could see a little precipitation tonight. Gary has your complete forecast when we come back.
Our biggest sale of the year is held over, so there's still time to get Black Friday deals during our huge Thanksgiving sale, held over at Slumberland Furniture. Incredible prices, plus get 30% off on top of that store-wide at Slumberland.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of PowerSwabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to PowerSwabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. PowerSwabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
My favorite thing about the Power Swabs is that I was actually able to take the swab and really get through some of those areas that are kind of like untreated. I felt like I can immediately see the results, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely starting to see the shades getting brighter and brighter, or whiter and whiter.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This holiday season, order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off. And as an added bonus, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Looking at mattresses?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable. That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Right now, get 30% off select mattresses, like this Sealy Posturepedic mattress for $5.99. Slumberland, mattress shopping reinvented.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Madison received a perfect 100 out of 100 score from the Human Rights Campaign, naming it one of the nation's most LGBTQ plus inclusive cities.
But after talking to members of Madison's LGBT plus community, our Andrew Banstra found out there is always room for growth.
Madison often self-identifies as one of the most diverse and inclusive cities in America, and the Human Rights Campaign's report from this morning backs that claim. For Madison, it's a perfect grade.
I think that Madison has a long history of, working to be inclusive, specifically of the LGBTQ communities.
Each year, the Human Rights Campaign issues scorecards to cities on how inclusive they are to the LGBTQ community. Focusing on 6 criteria, Madison and Milwaukee scored perfect, as did Racine for the first time ever. But here's how Steve Starkey with Outreach, an LGBTQ plus advocacy group, looks at it.
I think it kind of depends on who you are. And probably depends on what zip code you're in. I think for white people that are middle class, probably it's a score of 100. If you are a person of color or disabled or transgender, probably not so much.
Starkey says there's room to grow for the LGBTQ plus homeless and transgender communities, both of which were identified as issues in the report.
A problem is that we have male services and we have female services. And so transgender people have not fit into either category. And so, they've just kind of fallen through the cracks.
That's left homeless transgender people without a place to sleep and oftentimes without the resources to get on their feet. Madison has, though, made these top priorities, recently using a HUD grant to fund groups like Outreach to lead the charge.
The youth homelessness program that's going to be a 2-year program. And it's going to hopefully address some of those issues of people kind of not having the case management, not knowing where to get resources, not having enough resources.
To see the full report and to explore scores from across the country, head to this web story on channel3000.com.
The Department of Homeland Security is giving states 2 more years before it starts enforcing its so-called Real ID requirements. The new deadline is now May 7th of 2025, at which point all state driver's licenses must meet security standards established by the Real ID Act. After the deadline, IDs that do not meet those standards won't be accepted by federal agencies, including the TSA. That means you wouldn't be able to get through security at the airport if your state doesn't update your driver's license.
Well, it could be seeing some rain or snow tonight and tomorrow. Here's Gary with a complete forecast.
Yeah, I don't think so much rain tonight. Maybe just some flurries. Tomorrow, some rain or snow. But three things you need to know. The clouds will certainly be around. With the exception of Wednesday, some sunshine, and maybe a little bit Saturday. We're just looking at cloudy gray skies. And either rain or a mix of rain and snow during the daylight hours where temperatures are above freezing. The best chances for any snow would be later on at night. And I think that probably the best chances for any accumulation this week are going to be Thursday night into Friday morning. Could see some minor snow accumulations as temperatures turn cold enough for precipitation to change to all snow. But during the day, like I say, we'll be above freezing. The average high temperature still at 35, but we drop to freezing 10 days from now. Notice those temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 30s to around 40 degrees over the next few days. Ice vision, ice accumulation from last night, you can see there was a narrow band of freezing drizzle and light freezing rain. That's another possibility late at night when temperatures are below freezing. If we have some liquid precipitation, that freezes on road surfaces. But now we're just looking at some patches of flurries that are moving through southern Wisconsin right now. This is kind of the last vestiges of the system that came through this morning with some rain and snow showers, but we'll see a similar one for tomorrow. Now on Thursday, we'll start out as rain late in the day and then change over to snow Thursday night into Friday. One of the computer models shows about a 1 to 3 inch snowfall across southern Wisconsin. The heavier amounts toward southwestern parts of the state, lighter amounts up toward the Fox Valley, and little or no snow in the northern portion of the state. The other computer model has the snow a little farther to the north and generally has about a 1 to 2 inch snowfall. So I'm thinking an inch or two, certainly not out of the question, maybe a little bit more than that. Now, next week, there's a storm system from late Monday to Tuesday. One of the computer models, a European computer model, has most of this in the form of snow across this part of the Midwest, and that could result in a major winter storm. However, the GFS computer model from the United States government shows the snow well to the north. The reason you don't see any snow here, mainly it'll be in the form of rain. In fact, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms. So again, there'll be a fairly strong storm system early next week, but the best chances, I think, for the heavier snow will stay to our north and to our west. But we'll keep an eye on it. If we get colder air to come in and the storm takes a more southerly track, those snowfall amounts could start going up here. But right now, I think, we're dealing with mainly little systems like this that bring some quick hits of light snow, flurries, and some rain showers during the day. Planning your night, look for a low of 26 in Windsor, 27 in Waterloo, and 28 in Stoughton with mostly cloudy skies. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, a low of 30 in Janesville, 27 in Watertown, and 23 for the overnight low in Baraboo. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, some rain and snow showers, high temperature 37, nothing really widespread or heavy. In fact, planning your day starting at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy skies, not much in the way of precipitation. Temperatures start out below freezing. We get up to just below freezing by 9 a.m. here in Madison. And then you can see most of southern Wisconsin seeing temperatures above freezing by noon. That's when we start to see the precipitation. So even if there is snow, it's not going to stick to the ground, and that'll be the case into late tomorrow afternoon before it all winds down. 7 to 10 day forecast, up to 40 with that sunshine on Wednesday, 39 on Thursday. Rain late in the day, changing to snow Thursday night into Friday before it ends. Saturday will be dry, mainly rain Sunday into Monday, and then changing to snow on the back end of it. That will be just some minor accumulations for Tuesday, and then cold weather for the end of next week.
And coming up in sports, start 'em or sit 'em. What the leaders of the pack have to say. The plan is for Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love after the bye week. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What you see is important. How you see is important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Right now, get 40% off lenses with the purchase of any frames. Shopko Optical.
If you already know that a blend of tender, marbled Wagyu beef makes the best burger, good for you. Arby's Wagyu Steakhouse Burger is back. You beef genius? Arby's, we have the meat.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up. This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer on select Ford vehicles. Choose a vehicle in stock or simply place a custom order. Lock in your rate and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. So much. And that's how Ford is helping you. I'm proud of you, kids. Shine bright. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer. And shine bright.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
For many of us in the 608, a trip to the tree farm is a time-honored holiday tradition.
Tomorrow, Josh Ryder takes us on one family's hunt for the perfect pine. And will your morning commute be impacted by rain or snow? Tune in tomorrow from 4:30 till 7.
In 3 weeks, Wisconsin will take on Oklahoma State in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. And good news for the Badgers, the Cowboys will be playing with their backup quarterback. Their starter, like Graham Mertz, entered the transfer portal. Now, Mertz, though, isn't the only Badger leaving the program. Guard Michael Furtney, safety Titus Toller, and defensive end Tristan Munday all put their names in the portal. Furtney started 8 games this season at right guard. Tyler Beach not entering his name in the transfer portal. The 6-year senior has accepted an invitation to play in this year's Hula Bowl down in Orlando on January 14th. He's not going to be the only Badger playing in the All-Star game. Teammate Andy Vunovic previously accepted an invite back in November. After their win over the Bears on Sunday, the Packers bumped up their playoff chances by a couple percentage points. However, another loss and Green Bay is likely eliminated. And that's where the question of, do you continue to play banged up Aaron Rodgers, or do you give Jordan Love a shot to show what he has? Well, Brian Gutekunst's answer, not a very direct one.
Whoever gives us the best chance to win needs to be out there. That's only fair to this locker room. That's the way I feel about it. I think Matt feels the same. So, again, there's always kind of, different ways to look at things. But football is a little bit different game than some others. We'll make those decisions when we get there. What's best for the football team and going out and winning those games.
Fresh off a series sweep over Bemidji State, where the Badgers outscored the Beavers 17-2, Wisconsin earned a pair of conference honors. The captain, Britta Curl, was named the WCHA Forward of the Week for her 7-point performance. And thanks to 2 goals and 2 assists, Vivian Jungles took home Conference Rookie of the Week honors. The Badgers also stayed put in the polls, sitting at number 2 in the nation. They're back on the road this weekend at Mankato.
Zach, thank you. Let's go to Gary for one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, seeing some flurries out there. Nothing really big, but again, you may run into a couple at least this evening. 6-hour future track radar. That would show anything heavier, and you can see that doesn't really show anything at all. Current temperatures across Dane County, mid-30s. 34 in Madison, 34 in Middleton. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, mid to upper 30s.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.